Hi, my name is Ollie and welcome to the Harbour Journals. Today we're going to be following an oak log from the mill through to the finished product. We're milling up a slab to be used for a welcome sign for the door back estate. So not only are we going to see it here at the mill being processed, but then it's going to be passed on to Angus and Mack to be engraved, and finally to EcoFrames for the finished sign. So that's a log. This one was nice and big. They wanted a metre wide for the sign. This one did have a crack and some ring shake. Ring shake is when a year's growth kind of splits. With this log, I just hoped that it wouldn't be too far in. Then after that, I level off one side to start the siding so it fits on the mill. Once I've got one side all flush, I then get my jig. The jig is the width of the mill, so it's 1.13, to then know where I need to cut on the other side. In this case, I was cutting quite a large part of the branch off of it, which is okay. Like I said, still gives me over a metre. This is also a good point of just seeing what's like inside the log, just to see what the colour is and see if there's any more defects or fissures or anything. And thankfully, it looked great. Bring it onto the mill. I know for you millers out there, make sure that the cutting head is at the right end of the mill. When putting on a big log like this, you get all in position and then you go to start cutting and find that you can't get the mill back to cutting position. I can't tell you how many times, embarrassing amount, I have done this and these take the log back off again. But once on the mill, then the first part for milling a big log like this, step one, is to check that the mill can get past, to make sure that it's narrow enough, which for this it was spot on. Part two is then checking the orientation of it. So like I said, there is a split in this log. I try and line that up. So I'm going to capture that in one board. That way, that board has a crack going diagonally through it, instead of the crack going through the log and being through all of the boards. And I just try and line it up best I can. And I do that by ramming in a screwdriver at one end so I can see what orientation I want that to be at the top, and then kind of go half and half with the orientations at the front of the log. After that, I then find the centers of the log. I draw a big X so I can see it on a log that's aged like this. I absolutely love the trap net. It's great for really getting the positioning of the log nice and neat, exactly where you want it, but it's also big enough that you can do massive logs like this. I'm not sure many other mills that you can really be this accurate and precise in positioning and still cut large bits like this. After that, you're ready for milling. So tighten up the blade and then start processing through. I like to take off each slab as I cut. That way I'm just checking the quality of the timber, make sure there's no surprise cracks or rots or defects, or in many cases blue stain that's leading to bits of metal. Otherwise you can carry on cutting merrily and not realise that actually what you're getting is kind of wasted timber. These boards are massive, as you can see. So having big machinery that we have here makes it a bit handier in getting them off and positioning them into a pack. This log was absolutely stunning. I mean, for a big oak like this, you get many oaks that are this clean inside. And that ring shake that we had at the start, thankfully didn't go too far in. There was some discolouring in the heart of the log, which is a bit drier, I think, so it's probably a bit darker. But thankfully the client's quite happy with it. It's just a bit of character to the wood. And finally I found a piece that was the right length and width and didn't have as many defects in it. That was perfect for the job.
I'm Gaspar from Inverness. I'm the director of EcoFrame, a small firm of 5 joiners committed to make eco houses and sustainable buildings. Today, we're going to make a sign, a nice sign for Dorfbach Estate. So we're going to use a big like oak board from Logie Timber. We're going to make a mortise and tenon to fit into 2 big posts, which are made out of large logs. No, I think it just...
I'm gonna do this. This sign not only started as a log, it started as a tree, and since going through milling and framing and engraving, it seems only fitting that it's now back here, a drawback estate in the forest.